This is 4th period video production, and you're watching
Writer News Takeover!
You just heard from our 4th period video production class for that shout out and intro. We've taken over everything from filming to editing for this show. I'm Sequoia.
And I'm Riley. This week's Writers News has been taken over by the 4th period video production class, so get ready for an amazing show. Before we get into it, we have to touch base on the special assembly tomorrow. Listen up, Rough Riders.
Hi, my name is Delfonso, and welcome back to Climate Change with Delfonso. If you are new or you haven't quite yet seen this package, what I'm doing is that I'm going around and asking people what we could do to fight climate change rather than what it is. So, let's begin.
Howdy, Mr. Logan.
How's it going, Delfonso?
It's going quite alright, you?
I'm great, yeah.
Now, I stopped by because I wanted to talk to you about, or ask questions about, the next coming speaker, which is going to be this Thursday, Bill Baucus. Now, I don't know him. I personally have no information on this. So, I was wondering if I could ask you, who is Bill Baucus?
Bill Baucus works for Olympic National Park. He is a physical scientist, so he goes out and he collects data in Olympic National Park. He works up in alpine lakes. He measures glaciers, he goes out to the ocean, and he collects data to see the changes that are occurring to our national park.
What exactly is Mr. Baucus going to be talking to us about?
Well, I know Mr. Baucus does a lot of research with glaciers, like I said, and lakes, and the coast, and he's going to connect his work, his data, to climate change. So our last speaker spoke about his experience of traveling around the world and spoke a lot about climate change and ourselves and connecting ourselves to the natural world. But Mr. Baucus is going to hit us with the science, what he is seeing in our backyard. This will be very localized, so hopefully we'll all be able to make a connection to climate change, to our own backyard with his evidence that he's going to show us.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, and that sounds like it's going to be very interesting to listen to.
I sure hope so.
So do I. Well, thank you, Mr. Logan.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too.
And those were the questions that we had for this week. Now, we're not going to stop until we are completely satisfied with the answers that we get to the questions that we all desired to know. Thank you. Have a
Remember, tomorrow we will be on a special assembly schedule with an extended advisory period. You will be required to sit with your advisory class in the auditorium.
Now let's turn our attention to the next segment. Today we have a segment solely about yearbooks and what it takes to put it all together. So if you bought one or are planning on buying one, then make sure you stay tuned. You most definitely don't want to miss out on this information.
I joined yearbook last year, which is my junior year, because I only heard good things about it and I wanted to try something new. And at the time I thought it was all like I was going to take pictures, but then I found out it was a lot more than that. And I want to take the pictures. Yearbook is something that you can look back to once you're older, like pictures of your high school experience. I came back because Poindexter sent Amethyst and I to a yearbook camp over the summer to be editors, and I came back because he wanted me back. I also had a lot of fun last year. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Okay, I first joined yearbook because I always liked looking back at yearbook. I always liked looking at the memories and stuff kids had, and I just wanted to be a part. And it's really nice just to go back and just, you know, in like 5-10 years, look back at that and be like, oh my God, I forgot about that person, or I forgot about that teacher and things like that. So I think yearbook is just to make memories and remember memories. Just this year, I really enjoyed it. It was my favorite class, and it was really fun to look forward to. And Poindexter told Taylor and I that we were going to be editors. So kind of had to come back.
Well, Mr. Poindexter had offered it to me like as a position to join and then hopefully become a senior editor, but mainly the reason was because I'm interested in doing photography as a minor in college, so I was kind of interested in doing this.
Wow, there is a lot to putting together one of our yearbooks. I'm thinking about getting one myself so I can remember all the great high school events. Speaking of the past events, a few weeks back, ROTC hosted their basic leadership training.
I'm curious on how successful the event was. Our ROTC cadets are known throughout the Olympic region as some of the most professional. And I'm sure our showing at BLT didn't disappoint. So let's head back in time and find out all about it.
The BLT was interesting. It's kind of like a mini boot camp in itself. And I heard this year that they were going easy on us, but it was pretty difficult. It was fun overall though. We had PT, and for 2 of the days we had people who weren't part of ROTC. I think a sergeant from the military actually came over. And we had different activities like little games that we were playing. Like we had tug of war, and the orange team, which I was on, ended up winning, so that was fun. I guess I just kind of wanted to play the part, I guess. And it's just, ROTC is kind of like one big family, and I kind of wanted to be a part of that group. And so I guess I joined because of that. My first experience of ROTC, when I first entered the classroom during ROTC, the tallest person in the room approached me and told me that ROTC was way difficult and everything was going to be tough, and he was saying it in a gruff voice. And then he burst out laughing and said, "Hi, welcome to the family." And then, like, I think a few weeks later we all had cupcakes because it was someone's birthday, so, you know, it's been good.
So BLT is their letters that stand for Basic Leadership Training. BLT was fun. It was a little stressful. It was tiring. You don't get a lot of sleep, and you do a lot of running and exercise, but it was fun. You learn a lot. We got there, and we went for a run, and then we did more running and more PT, and we played games. I expected, like, boot camp. Like, I expected that there was going to be, like, a lot of yelling and a lot of tests and stuff, and there was, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I had friends that were on ROTC, and they're like, "You should do ROTC," and I was like, "I don't want to do ROTC," and they're like, "You should do it anyway," so I did it.
To me, it sounds like the basic leadership training was a great learning experience for anyone who participated. Some of our students could get a thing or two out of that discipline, especially those who habitually skip class.
We wanted to learn more about why students choose to sabotage their grades and skip class, so we sent out a news team. Check out what they learned.
Well, I skip school for a number of different reasons. I'll skip school or like a class, if I've got like a test in that class and I have no idea how to do it, I'll skip and then like study it and then go back and retake it or take it afterwards. I'll skip if there's just a class I don't feel like going to, and I'll go hang out with friends. I'll go skip school just if, like, I don't know, a bunch of just different reasons. Well, I mean, from skipping school, it's like school is boring and classes are boring and some classes are difficult. And if I skip, I mean, it's way more fun to go and hang out with friends rather than go to class and just sit there and be bored and have to do work. So I'm caught going back to class after skipping. I've gotten caught from phone calls from the school to my parents. I've been caught by Mr. Clark. One time, yeah, I was walking back to the school from me skipping a class, and Mr. Clark literally stopped me with his car and asked me for my name because he knew I was skipping. I mean, not really. It doesn't really have anything to do with the teachers or the classes. I mean, except for just some classes are just more boring than others, so I'll skip them more often. it's like I said, if I skip a test, I'll have a 0 on that test grade and a lower grade in the class until I go back and take that test or whatever the assignment is.
Because like the teachers are like some of my teachers are really bad, and some classes there's tests that I have to do, and I don't feel like doing them or I don't know how to do them. So sometimes I'll like go to SARS and get food, so it makes me happy. Yeah, and then sometimes I get to hang out with people. Or I didn't know how to do the test, or it's just the fact that I didn't want to do it that day. Yeah, sometimes because one of my teachers, not gonna say his name, but I don't know. I don't like that teacher.
Now we know why some students decide to skip class. I wonder how their grades are going to look at the end of the semester. Well, looks like we're just about out of time. I'm Sequoia.
And I'm Riley. We hope you enjoyed our Writer News Takeover, and thank you for tuning in. The craziness continues next week as 6th period video production class take their turn at the takeover.